Cardinal family, first of all, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who contributed to our March 14th PD Day. It was exceptional. You guys truly did elevate. You truly did validate. It was one of my best days here in the 2 years I have been privileged to serve Crete Public Schools. I said it a lot. I'm going to say it again. Thank you. The feedback has been exceptional. I really appreciate that. One of the things that we are looking at is, because we'll try to run this bad boy again next year in some capacity. Maybe looking at a different date. I had pretty strong rationales why I picked my March date for this, and I still believe in those. But one piece of feedback I had was suggestion on a couple different dates. So expect a survey in the near future where we maybe evaluate what is the best day to do our next Cardinal Collective in the next school year. Other than that, one of the things I would really appreciate you doing is continue to thank other people. If you have any connections with any of our outside presenters that came from Concordia, Doane, or ESU6, reach out to them and say, hey, it meant a lot to us being here. I need to get them thank yous. I'm really bad about writing thank yous in a timely fashion, but I'm going to do it. So in the meantime, cover for me just a little bit and thank them from your perspective. Next thing that I want to talk about is one of my favorite topics. It was on my brain again this week when I was in some classrooms, and it's that of observable engagement of the learning. You guys that have been following me for a while know I preach on this all the time, that our students need to be observably engaged in activities that move us towards the learning target. That means we need to hear them speaking, see them writing, see them in an act of movement or creation that moves us towards the learning we want them to acquire and master. What was on my mind this week as I sat in some classrooms is the frequency of that. And before I get too much further, I'm going to let you know I don't think there's a hard and fast answer. But I kept on finding myself asking, how often should we be soliciting observable engagement in the learning during a lesson? I really think that depends on a lot of different things. I think it depends on the content. I think it depends on the activity. I think it depends on the students. And there are times when we have sustained nonstop observable engagement in the learning. There are times when we will have a student working on some activity that takes a meaningful amount of time. 20 minutes, half an hour, and that whole time we can observe that student and we can see that observable engagement in the learning. There's also times when we hope we just have attention, and we will also have a meaningful amount of time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, seems like a little much, where we don't solicit observable engagement in the learning and they're just receiving. Sometimes it gets, just thrown in there at different intervals, whether that's every 5 minutes or every 15 minutes or 3 times in the next 2 minutes. Again, I don't believe that there is a hard and fast answer when it comes to how often we should see or solicit observable engagement in the learning. What I do believe, and I do believe is a hard and fast rule, is we should reflect on it every time. That as we plan for our lessons, we need to intentionally think about what observable engagement am I going to solicit? What's the frequency of that? How often will it occur? And then after we teach, reflect on it again and say, man, did I ask for too much? Did all of the activity that I asked to have happen get in the way of the learning? Was it not enough? Did I not stimulate that thought and that action often enough? And so quiet and complacent became disengaged. So make sure you take the time to think about that. Make sure as you plan lessons, you think about and you intentionally engineer at the appropriate frequency based on your professional judgment, how often should I see that observable engagement? And after you give it a run, go back and go, did that jive? Did that play? Did that have legs? Or do I need to try something a little bit different? Do I need to turn up that frequency, or how long the observable engagement was sustained, or do I need to dial it back a little bit? And again, no hard and fast answer, but it should be something that's kind of fun to play with. All right, that's all I have for you. Gosh, again, thank you. Monday was so rad. You guys were so rad. We're better because of it, and we're going to be better again when we do it again next year. I think that's all I have for you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.